So what if the biggest discovery you could ever make isn't something you have to go out and find? What if it's something you've had with you this whole time? That's what we're going to explore today. We're not really learning a new skill. We're talking about a fundamental shift in how we see everything.
Right. So this isn't about cramming more information into your brain or giving you another belief system to hold on to. Not at all.
Instead, we're just here to point to something you already have, something so fundamental, so close to you, that it often gets missed. Think of it less like learning and more like remembering, a recognition of what's already here.
So where does a journey like this usually kick off? Well, for most people, it starts with this subtle, nagging feeling, the sense that something's just missing, even when life, on the surface, looks pretty good.
You know the feeling, right? You can check off all the boxes, you've got the career, the relationships, the comfortable life, but there's still this quiet hum of dissatisfaction underneath it all. It's a really common human experience, and a lot of us just try to drown it out with distractions.
But here's a different way to look at it. What if that feeling isn't a problem to be solved? What if it's not a flaw in you, but actually a signal, an invitation, really, to finally start looking in a different direction, not outward, but inward?
And that signal, that invitation, often takes the form of a question. It's a quiet question that just kind of bubbles up from beneath all the noise of your daily life. Is this really it? Is there something more than this cycle of working, sleeping, consuming? That question, that's the real starting line.
Okay, so if that question is the beginning, where does it lead? Well, it doesn't lead to some neat and tidy answer. It leads to a shift. And to really get what this shift is, we first have to clear away all the ideas of what it is not.
First things first, spiritual awakening is not about finding a state of permanent, blissful happiness. People who've had this shift still get sad, they still face challenges. It is definitely not about feeling good all the time.
And it's also not about having some wild mystical visions or suddenly developing superpowers. Sure, some people have incredible experiences, but those are just experiences. They come and they go. They are not the awakening itself.
And this is a big one. It is absolutely not a way to check out, to avoid pain, or to escape the messiness of being human. Actually, it's the exact opposite. It's about learning to engage with your life more directly and honestly than ever before.
So if it's none of that stuff, what are we talking about? It's simply a shift in your perception. It's this quiet, profound recognition that who you truly are is not the constant stream of thoughts, emotions, and sensations, but the silent awareness behind it all, the part of you that is watching it all happen.
This slide here really breaks down that key distinction. On one side, you have the mind. That's the voice in your head, right? Your story, your memories, your anxieties, the whole me that you think you are. But on the other side, there's awareness. That's the silent watcher. It's the space in which all those thoughts appear. I mean, think about it. If you can observe your own thoughts, you can't possibly be your thoughts, can you? You're the one watching them.
Realizing that difference, even just for a moment, kicks off the next phase. And honestly, this can be the trickiest part of the whole journey. It's this process of unlearning, of letting go of who you always thought you were. You know, we're all conditioned to think that growth means adding more knowledge, more skills, more experiences. But this is a process of subtraction. It's about dismantling the false identity you've built up your entire life. It's about letting go of all the old stories and beliefs that aren't actually true.
And yeah, this unlearning process can feel pretty disorienting. You might find yourself on an emotional roller coaster. You might feel disconnected from old friends or hobbies. You might just want to be alone more often, or you might start questioning, well, everything. These aren't signs that something is wrong. They're signs that the old rigid structures are starting to dissolve.
This process also completely changes your relationship with pain. See, most of our psychological suffering doesn't come from the pain itself, but from our constant resistance to it, from fighting what's happening. As awareness grows, you stop fighting reality so much. You just see the thoughts and feelings for what they are, and when you can see them clearly, they just don't have the same power over you anymore.
So what does this actually look like in your day-to-day life? Because this isn't about becoming some enlightened being who floats off to a monastery. It's about a really profound shift in how you experience your perfectly ordinary life.
The change is, well, it's huge. Instead of constantly reacting to things based on old programming, you start responding with more presence and wisdom. Instead of always resisting what's happening, you find yourself allowing reality to be as it is.
The whole frame changes from seeing life as this constant problem that you have to solve
to seeing it as an experience to be lived. When you're not completely lost in the mind's running commentary about everything, you can finally just be present for your own life. The simple things, drinking a cup of coffee, having a conversation, feeling the sun on your skin, they become incredibly rich and alive.
And this is probably the most important thing to remember. This shift isn't some distant goal that you have to struggle for years to reach. The opportunity to recognize this isn't in the future. It is always, only, right here, right now, in this moment.
So I'll just leave you with this, a question to take with you. Without trying to fix or analyze or judge anything, just for a second, what do you notice, right now? Maybe it's the feeling of your breath moving in and out, a sound in the room, or maybe, just maybe, the silent awareness that's noticing it all. That's it. That's the doorway.